Rose Namajunas, she won the co-main event last weekend against Miranda Maverick, is being paid more disclosed money than former champ and former pound-for-pound number one, Kamaru Usman. Co-main event, champion for less time, lower on the greatest of all time, worst UFC record, all of that combined, they both won. Usman won, Rose won, and Rose is making $200,000 more disclosed money than Kamaru Usman. We look over here. Kamaru Usman, he didn't even have a win bonus, something in his contract. He's not doing a show and win. He's getting a flat fee no matter what. If he loses to Buckley, he's making $300K disclosed money. And the same thing if he loses. Now, we don't know if there's other money, if there's other sponsor money, whatever the case may be. We don't know. There could be other money that's not disclosed to the public, but this is what we know of. And he's $300,000 with no show money. Rose Namajunas got paid $250 to show and to win. Miranda Maverick, $125,000. That's good money right there. $125,000 for losing the co-main event. When we go down to Rodolfo Bellato making $12,000, and that's it for the no contest. That was his show money, $12,000, and Miranda's making 10 times as much. I don't know how this pay structure is happening in the UFC where the debuting guys, Rodolfo's not even a debuting guy. That was like his third or fourth fight in the UFC versus a guy that's beaten two UFC champions, and he's getting paid a tenth of what Miranda's getting paid, and Miranda's making a fifth of what Rose Namajunas. It's crazy. It is crazy. And then we go to the prelims. Okay? Michael Chiesa made $300,000. Malcolm Wellmaker, who is a far bigger name now on that card, only made $24,000 plus his $50,000 bonus that's not on here from winning performance of the night. Chiesa, being as boring as he won in his fight, was essentially worth 12 times more than what Malcolm Wellmaker did. Crazy. Jose Ochoa, his crazy performance, got the $50K performance bonus, but if you didn't get that, only $20,000. He's fighting for 10 and 10. 10 and 10. And Jamie Lynn Horth is fighting for 25 and 25. How? I think debuting fighters should be fighting for 25 and 25. Because that way, if they fight twice in the year, they're making $50,000. And that's a wage where they could live off that, have another side job, and be able to functionally survive. 10K is crazy. 10K is crazy. What is the average pay per year? The average pay per year is $61,000. Is $61,000. So at the very least, $30,000. $30,000. So everybody can fight twice a year. That's the average. Twice a year and make $60,000 a year. And if they win, they can make $90,000. I think $30,000 should be the low. That's crazy. It's insane because they could easily not pay Rose Namajunas $500,000. She'll still fight for the UFC for $100 to win and $100 to show. If they paid freaking Bellato $30,000 to win and show, I think that's a better deal. And paid Ochoa $40,000, $30,000 to show, whatever. Crazy. I still find it nuts that Usman is making that. Buckley was only making $150,000. Buckley was only making $150,000. That's insane. That is crazy because even then, Joaquin Buckley's show and win is the same as Michael Chiesa, an unranked welterweight and a top 10 welterweight in the world. Wow. UFC fight. Again, I will preface this. This is only disclosed pay. That's about it. That's all we're going to talk about with disclosed pay. Kind of crazy there. We're going to go down to, let's do this one first. Rodolfo Bellato reveals He was not acting. Everybody thinks he is. I think he might have been, but he might not have been. I'm kind of on the fence here. Comment down below. Is Rodolfo Bellato a liar? Or is he actually saying that he was not acting, and is that true? His statement, God knows about all things. To everyone cheering for me, I'm in good health and will be back soon. Thank you so much. And I saw some things on the internet saying I was an actor there and stuff. The moment I was on the ground, I didn't expect to get kicked in the face illegally. It was a strong kick. When I looked at the judge to complain, that's the picture you're looking at, my whole body began to tingle. So he looks at him and then his whole body starts tingling and his vision began to disappear. After that, he says he doesn't remember anything. So he looks at the ref, starts tingling, his vision goes away, and he doesn't even remember anything. He says anyone who knows me the longest knows I would never do this. I've never run for more. I hit 2 times in less than 30 days. That means he's cut weight twice. 2 trips in a row. Why would I fake something after all I've been through? And on top of that, I won the first round. In the end, I thank all the real ones for the positive messages. God is in charge. I'm starting to believe him. I'm thinking maybe he just had one of those really, really delayed reactions. But yeah, comment down below. Do you think he was faking it, acting or not? Ilia Topuria, Paddy Pimblett. Paddy wants this fight. He's saying if Ilia wants the fight, UFC's probably going to make this fight because it's a big, big money fight. Paddy says if Ilia wins and says he wants to fight me, UFC will make that fight because they know it's a money fight. I think it's possible. Arman Tsarukyan is right there, but I know they got money brewing. They got money out of the wazoo if they make Ilia versus Paddy. So I don't know. Speaking of Arman is now the official backup fighter for Charles Oliveira, Ilia Topuria. A fan asked him, who is next, Arman Tsarukyan? He says, I am the backup for UFC 317. He has said he wants to fight again after that in like September and August, around that time period, against Justin Gaethje to solidify his title shot if he is not next after that. He wants to get a win, but he's the backup. So I don't know. Paddy's trying to make his name. If Ilia wins, Paddy wants it, but Arman's the backup. So interesting situation and interesting to see who will actually get the shot at the winner of Ilia and Charles if there is no cancellation. Israel Adesanya and Joaquin Buckley go back and forth. We got Adesanya just going crazy. During the entire Buckley-Usman fight, he was hating on Joaquin Buckley. He says, I don't use this word lightly, but I hate Buckley, bro. He's just so annoying. Maybe I'm just a hater. He's saying this throughout the entire Usman-Buckley fight, main event, and Buckley responds on Twitter. Hate the farmer who took your belt, referring to Dricus du Plessis as he's a South African. There's a lot of farmers in South Africa. He says, hate him, not me. Stand on business about Africa, China, or wherever you from blank. Buckley won that exchange easily. Dominated 10-7, 10-6 Israel Adesanya. Israel was completely quiet. Completely quiet after that. And rightfully so. Mario Bautista reveals how he would beat Merab Dvalishvili and how to do it. He says, I'd be keeping up with him cardio for cardio. He says, if you can keep Merab's pace, if you can do Merab how Merab does Merab, and have that cardio and keep that even, and you're just the more skilled fighter, you're going to win. The way isn't to defend all of his takedowns and have really good takedown defense and better striking. It's to match the cardio, and that's it. Just match the cardio and just be a little bit better technique-wise. Be a better striker. Be a better grappler. And he'll win the fight. If you can have better cardio than Merab, he is saying you're going to beat him. All you got to do is have better or at least match the cardio of Merab Dvalishvili. Then it would kind of play out where, he's got the better skills and he would win. So Mario Bautista seems to believe he's got the same cardio to Merab Dvalishvili and that he would have the better skills than Merab to kind of keep even that cardio and beat him with the wrestling, beat him with the striking and technique-wise and skill-wise. See what happens. Mario's not near a title shot yet. Still needs 1, maybe 2 more. If he can beat like an Umar, he could be right there. Title shot right after he beats Umar. So potentially 1 fight away. Then we got Sugar Sean O'Malley. He says, for me to earn another title shot at Merab, I've got to be undeniable. I have to go on a streak. So he's not out here saying one more and then a title shot. He's saying he's going to have to go on a streak, which I do respect from Sean O'Malley. I think he's got to beat an Umar. He's got to beat a Corey Sandhagen or another Petr Yan fight. So Umar and then Petr Yan, title shot. Something like that. He's got to get 2 wins. Maybe one of those is the finish. If he can get 2 wins, I think he'd be right back at it. But they have to be convincing. If he gets 1 win and then the second one's a split, you got to get a 3rd win. But if he's able to go out there and get 2 decisive wins, maybe 1 by finish, I have no problem with him getting another title shot. Khalil Roundtree says he does not think he will need another fight after Jamal Hill. He says he's going to beat Jamal Hill, and he says, well, the title shot is next for sure after that. I don't know. I don't think he will. I think if he beats Jamal, he's still got Yuri, probably getting the winner of Ankalaev and what's it called? Yuri versus Ulberg, winner fights for the belt. I think Khalil's going to need 1 more. He says he doesn't. I really think he's going to have to get 1 more shot, 1 more fight. Do I know who that would be against? I'm going to check the rankings really quickly because I am curious. Khalil Roundtree, if he beats number 4, Carlos versus Yuri, he'd have to probably defend his rankings because Carlos and Yuri are likely going to fight. I would bet my bottom dollar that fight's going to happen. And Alex versus Ankalaev, I bet that's going to happen as well. I would legitimately say he's probably got to defend it versus somebody coming up. Dominic Reyes, Khalil Roundtree. I know it sounds crazy, but that would be another former title challenger champion on Khalil Roundtree's resume. You got Anthony Smith, he would have Jamal Hill, then he would have Dominic Reyes, because Rakic doesn't deserve the shot up. Jan should go down to the rankings. Rakic should go down to the rankings. Volkan should go down. Got some of these up-and-comers. Azamat is there, but Dominic is the higher-ranked guy on a win streak, coming off a lot of wins. So I would say, after this weekend, Dominic Reyes should probably call out Khalil. Dominic wants the September return. Is June, July, August, September. That's 3 months. Maybe October. Khalil Roundtree and Dominic Reyes. I think that's the best way you do it because Alex and Magomed probably going to fight in like August, September time period. Yuri and Carlos probably going to be fighting around the same time. And then, winners fight winners. Magomed wins against Alex again. Magomed fights Yuri Prohashka. And then the winner of Khalil versus Dominic Reyes could vie for a backup shot. Something like that. So, I don't know. I think he needs 1 more. Let's go back. I think I posted 1 more time. Could be wrong. Twice. There we got Sean O'Malley. Cody Garbrandt. This is hilarious. Cody Garbrandt comments on a Happy Punch post. Send the contract, Dana White. It's time. At Sugar Sean, what's good? Bro, I'm gonna glance over that. Cody Garbrandt, what are you doing calling out Sean O'Malley? What are you doing? God. And last but not least, for the big news, Dustin Poirier. Dana White reveals the entire UFC 318 card in Louisiana was legitimately made for Poirier. They wouldn't have gone to Louisiana. They wouldn't have done this pay-per-view here if it wasn't for Poirier. They literally made a pay-per-view behind and around and focused on Dustin Poirier, says Dana White. Very interesting. Let's go back to some lesser news. Miles Johns got a new UFC contract right here. 6 years ago today, maybe not today, but 6 years ago, he got signed to the UFC. Today, I just signed my 4th multi-fight contract with them. God is good. Winston Churchill said it best. This is not the end. This is not even the beginning or the end of the end, but it is perhaps the end of the beginning. Fight news coming soon. Thank you, Jason House, as manager, and all the guys at Iridium for making this happen. I'm curious to see what he's being paid. 4th multi-fight UFC contract, has to be making, I would think about $100,000 to show, $100,000 to win. 6-3 in the UFC, is probably making some good money now. C-Rod got another fight booked. Fight news coming soon, and he says it is a banger. We'll see what happens there. Chris Duncan versus Mateusz Rebecki, booked for August 2nd in the UFC Apex. Both are coming off some good, impressive performances. So, see what happens here. I think that's a solid fight here in the lightweight division. Another fight for the UFC Apex. Kevin Vallejos 1-0 in the UFC, taking on Danny Silva 2-0 in the UFC. This should be a banger. I'm telling you right now, this should be a banger. I can't wait for that fight. God damn. Francis Marshall, fight news soon. He says he's got a fight booked. Looking at it right now, I think it could be Francis Marshall, C-Rod. Maybe. I'm just speculating here. Could be that. Last but not least, Edson Barboza, Drakkar Klose, UFC 319 in the works. But Drakkar Klose, if you look at it right here, if they give me a new UFC contract and some more money, let's run it. So we'll see if they do book that fight. Burt MMA 3, we got a few more things. I think only 3. We do have here, I'm forgetting the name, Brad Katona. I already forgot the name. He's not in the UFC anymore. He's not important. Has been cut from the UFC. Maybe not cut, but he just hasn't been re-signed. He's just no longer inside of the UFC. The former 2-time Ultimate Fighter, 4-5 losing record in the promotion. He's gone. Mitch Ramirez is got a fight signed. He's got a fight signed. We'll see who he's going to be fighting soon. I don't really see any other lightweights with fights booked, so I don't really know who's going to be fighting. But we shall see. Last but not least, the bantamweight 1-0 Shakur Dabag. Elijah Smith's got fight news coming soon on August 9th. We'll see who that is going to be. That is also in the UFC Apex. We'll see what happens there. But that is it for today's MMA news. Again, we started off with Rose Namajunas. Being paid the most out of anybody on UFC Fight Night, Usman versus Buckley, and 200 grand more than Usman. Crazy. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.